What's up, y'all? Hey, Mrs. Edna, how you doing? Blessings to you. Blessings, blessings, blessings. How's your Friday going? How's your Friday going? Hey, Bo. Hey, Bobo. We want to tell the people, hey? I am doing all right, Mrs. Edna. It has been a pretty relaxed Friday. I've just been doing some things around the house. And honestly, just physical rest, getting a little bit of rest in, because I have been somewhat kind of like busy this week and tired. And you know, sometimes when you're going through things or working through emotions, like sometimes that too can drain you too, to where you literally just feel like you gotta rest, you know. But our declaration, and it's the first day this week that I've actually just had that time to get some physical rest. But our declaration is going to be, when you've done all that you can do, trust God. I'm gonna say it again. When you've done all that you can do, trust God. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say it again. When you've done all that you can do, trust God. I need somebody to type that in. When you've done all that you can do, trust God. I'm going to say it one more time for the people in the back. When you've done all that you can do, trust God. I'm going to say it one more time. When you've done all that you can do, trust Him. Blessings to you, Jennifer. Blessings to you. I'm going to say it again. When you've done all that you can do, trust Him. Trust Him. I don't know who this is for, but this is a little bit of the revelation of some things that I've been working through today. But I'm going to say it again. When you've done all that you can do, trust Him. I'm going to say it one more time. Trust Him. When you have done all that you can do, trust Him. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced going through something, right? And it's almost like you do all that you can do and you don't get a response from that situation or that circumstance, right? Especially things that you don't understand. It's like you tend to worry. You tend to, do what you can do and then worry about it, right? I'm gonna say it again. Anybody ever been there where you're going through something, dealing with something, and you literally know that you've done your best, and because your best didn't produce results, because your best didn't bring progress, because your best didn't seem to move the mountain, you tend to sit there and you worry about it. Replaying it in your head, thinking about what you can do, what you should have done, what you could have done. Anybody ever been there? Today was one of those days for me. I was going through something, and I don't think that I'm yet released to talk about what I was going through, because genuinely, I don't believe that God is done with the revelation. But when He's done, don't stop. I will share exactly what it is that I was going through. But I was going through something today, and it's like I prayed about it. Come on. The dreaded replay. Stop. I prayed about it, but it's literally nothing that I did, nothing that I said moved the mountain, no progress. And I was caught up in my thoughts about it. Anybody ever been caught up in your thoughts about it? I was just caught up in my thoughts about it. Concerned, thinking about what can I do? Replaying God, was this because of something that I've done? I did what you told me to do, but why is it going this way? And it was bothering me the majority of the day. I'm just going to be real. Hey, Visha. It was something that was bothering me the majority of this day, to the point where it almost stagnated me a little bit, meaning I didn't want to really do anything, still waiting on funds for gas, but I didn't want to do nothing. And you want to know, I laid down before God, like literally hey Sabrina, I literally laid down before God. And I began to seek God's face concerning it. And you want to know what God told me? This is going to bless somebody. He said, you've done all that you can do, all that you know how to do. So stop worrying. Woo. I'm going to say it again. God literally told, maybe y'all have never been through something like that, where you know that like you're giving it your best, but your best isn't producing results. It's not, bringing you to a place where you're seeing progress. You're not getting the favorable results. And so because you know that you put your all into it, you sit there and you wonder, you worry, you replay things. You just don't understand. You don't get it. And really what it is a lot of times we're seeking God for clarity concerning why. Bo, stop. We're seeking God concerning clarity for why we didn't see movement. But the Lord told me, as I literally laid prostrate before God, because it was one of those things. I'm like, Lord, what? I was a little bit blindsided by something. And he literally told me, he said, you've done all that you can do. So stop worrying. And I believe that there is someone here that needs to hear that. Maybe it's a situation, maybe it's a friendship, maybe it's, something that you've been waiting for, and like, God, I've been doing my best. I've been doing all that I can do. But deep down, that like you're still wondering, like, God, why isn't my effort producing results? Why isn't my faith producing results? Right? Anybody ever been by a show of hands? And I believe that God wants me to tell you that when you literally and genuinely know that you've done all that you can do about a situation, about a circumstance, relationally, whatever the case may be, when you know that you've done all that you can do, trust him and don't worry. I wish I had somebody to just type in on the screen, don't worry. A matter of fact, some of y'all need to literally tell yourself, stop worrying about that. You did what you were supposed to do. Stop worrying. And this is where, like the phrase, like when you've done all you can, just stand. What that phrase means is trust God to do what God does best. Stop, Bo. What it simply means is trust God to do what he does best. I'm going to say it again. Trust him to do what he does best. And the truth of the matter is that we won't always understand all the things that happen to us. We won't always understand why some of our expectations concerning what we're believing God for isn't going according to how we thought. A lot of times the understanding doesn't come until after the blessing arrives. I'm going to say it again. A lot of times the understanding, the clarity that you need, it doesn't come until after. But to the person that needs to hear this, if you know that you've done all, I feel you, God. Well, if you know that you've done all that you can do to promote that business, and your efforts aren't producing clientele or the clientele that you believe God spoke over your life, then at some point, right, you got to just say, God, I've done my best. Now you bless the rest. I feel like I need to say that again, because there are some business owners on here. There are some business owners on here where you legitimately know, like, God, I've been going hard. I ain't been getting no clientele. I ain't been getting this, but I still been showing up. I've been doing what I needed to do, what I need to do. But God, why my products not selling? Why they not buying my book, God? This is for somebody. Why they didn't hit the booking app, God? Why haven't they purchased any products? When you know that you've done all that you can do, you have to understand that you worrying about that thing, it is not going to produce results. It's only going to make you want to quit. So if that person is you, if you know that you're that business owner and you've done legitimately all that you can do, trust God. Say, God, I give you my effort. I've done my best. Now you do the rest. And him doing the rest, check this out. It requires patience. Maybe it's healing for you. And you legitimately let's just say you're believing God to restore some relationships. And you legitimately know that, God, I've done my part. I forgave, right? I've done X, Y, Z. And the restoration to this relationship still hasn't come. Especially if you know that it's a promise from God. It gets to a point where you got to say, God, I have done my best. I've done all that you've asked me to do. I've done all that I know how to do. But Lord, now that I've done my best, you do the rest. You bless the rest, God. You gave the promise. You gave me the vision. God, I've done my part. So I'll wait on you to bless the rest of this. I'll wait on you to bless the business. I'll wait on you to bless this marriage. I'll wait on you to bless my relationships. I'll wait on you to bless whatever it is, God. And it's like when God told me that, it immediately shifted my perspective. And I knew that in that moment, what God was saying is right now is not time for you to understand the why. But you've done your best. You did what I needed you to do. You did what you were supposed to do. Now let me do the rest. And I believe that that is what God is saying on today. Maybe it's living arrangements. And you like, God, I've applied. I've called. But nothing that I'm doing is producing the yes that I need. Maybe this person is you. I would tell you to go before God and say, Lord, I've done my best. This is a promise that you gave me. It's your responsibility to make it come to pass. But Lord, now that I've done my best, come on, somebody. You bless the rest. And I feel like I need to say this again. Allowing God to bless the rest requires patience. And I get it. Especially with things that are near and dear to our heart, things that, we really, really desire. Especially when you want God's will. Sometimes you don't want to hear him say, be patient and wait on me, because you feel like, God, I've been waiting for years. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Anybody ever felt that way? When God's told you it ain't time yet, or be patient. I know I felt that way. I have felt that way quite a few times. It's like, God, what you think I've been doing? I've been patient. Sometimes it hurts to tell God you'll wait on him. Sometimes it hurts to hear him say it ain't time. Be patient. Those things hurt when you know that that's all you've been doing. And a lot of times what happens is we don't understand the why. And it frustrates us even more. I used to tell God in my wilderness. I used to tell him, I said, Lord, in those frustrating moments in that season, I used to say, Lord, if I understood the why, I'd be able to wait. Anybody ever felt that way? Like, Lord, if I understood why this was happening, I would have no issue waiting. Like if I knew the details of not just a broad spectrum of why I'm waiting, but Lord, if I knew the details of why I'm waiting ahead of time, I wouldn't have an issue. I wouldn't have an issue of waiting. And you want to know what God told me in that season of my life, and it has stuck with me ever since. He said, doing it that way doesn't require for you to trust me. He literally told me. He said, if I were to do it that way, this journey would not require for you to trust me. Patience. The ability to wait on God. It goes hand in hand with faith. It teaches us faith. It shows us how to trust him. So I don't know who needs to hear this. If you know you've done your best, I need you to go ahead and give the situation to God and trust him to bless the rest. Come on. If you know that you've given it your best shot, get this out of your mouth. If you know that you've given it your best shot, I need you to literally, whatever it is, whether it is a business, whether it is a vision, whether it's a promise you standing on, whether it is healing, whether it is your health, whether it is finances, I legitimately need you. Bo, get down. Get down. I legitimately need you to give it to God right now and give him free reign to bless the rest. Because at the end of the day, it's God's responsibility not just to bless us, but it's his responsibility to come through on the words that he has spoken over our life. And that is the word. So when you've done all that you can do, y'all know the rest. Trust him. Trust him. Trust him. Stop biting me. How did you even get this in your mouth? When you've done, I'm going to say it again. When you know that you've done all that you can, trust him with the rest. I'm going to say that again. Trust him with the rest. Tell the people hello, Bo. Trust him with the rest. When you know that you've done all that you can do, trust him with the rest. And that's it. That's it. That was the revelation that the Lord gave me today. That was the revelation that he gave me. He legitimately told me. I had been bothered by this thing all day, just thinking about it, sad about it, not understanding, asking God, Lord, give me understanding, give me clarity. And God just straight up told me, you did your best, so stop worrying. So to the person that needs to hear this, I'm going to tell you what God told me. You've done your best, so stop worrying. And that's the word. That is the word. If you know that you need to sow seed into this word, please let God lead you. Again, what my need right now is gas. Literally, it's been one of those days where literally as funds have come, it's like automatic payments for bills have automatically taken it. And so it's been one of those days. And so I just took today, because of how I was feeling, to just sit before God and to just let him speak to me. And that's it, y'all. If you need prayer for anything, have a testimony, the links are there. If you feel led to sow, again, it's just literally going towards gas. Some of it is probably going to go towards food for tomorrow, because I do have some today. But that's it, y'all. And dog food. I need dog food. I forgot about it. I'm completely wiped out of that. So that is where the funds are going. That's it. I'll be back on as God leads me to get back on. To those of y'all that need to tithe, like, go and tithe. I don't know why God wants me to say this. And this is, I'm not telling y'all anything that he doesn't have me doing. Whenever funds come in, I don't do what I have to do with the money and then think of God as an afterthought when I tithe. The reason why God continues to tell some people to tithe, because tithing is not your first thought. I'm trying to get off of here. The reason why God be having to tell some of y'all to tithe is because tithing is not your first thought. Your first thought are your bills, whatever else you have to do. And a lot of people look at God as an afterthought. And so if you know that you're one of those people that God consistently has to tell to tithe, you go and you say, Lord, why do you have to always tell me to tithe? And I guarantee that if you have the ears to hear, what you'll hear God tell you is because it's not the first thing on your mind. It's an afterthought. Giving your 10% has become an afterthought, right? And so Again, if you know you need to tithe, go tithe. Even if you ain't tithing to this ministry, go and tithe. And so that is it, y'all. That is it. I love y'all. I'm rooting for you. And so, till next time, y'all. Peace.